with me way back then, girl. How about now? Cause I'm up right now. And he's up right now.
Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. You see the thumbnail. But what about the O-line? I mean, nobody can survive behind that O-line. If we draft a quarterback, it doesn't matter. It's the O-line. First off, shut up. Shut up. What did Joe Schoen do this offseason? About 70% of the free agents that we signed were played where? On the offensive line. Right now, just look at it. The only guys you got really returning that's penciled in as starters is JMS, the rookie that we drafted in the second round, and Andrew Thomas, an all-pro left tackle. Outside of that, it's up for grabs. You got Jermaine Illuminor, you got John Runyon Jr. Oh yeah, guess what? He's a new offensive lineman and a starter. Jermaine Illuminor. Most likely, I think he's going to be a starter, whether it's at guard or tackle. And then you just look at all the other stuff. The O-line is the O-line. What they did was, in my opinion, they addressed the O-line to the point where you don't have to worry about the O-line early in the draft. You don't have to worry about it. Now, if there's a steal in day 2, possibly in the third round or something like that, maybe. If there's a steal in day 3, possibly in round 4 or 5, maybe. But the first round, second round, I'm saying the third, we're not picking the offensive line in the first 3 picks. It's not happening. Unless something, well, you can't say it's not going to happen. But it's very, 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 very slim that the New York Giants, especially in the first 2 picks, are going to draft the offensive lineman. That's not where the positional value is going to be that early in the draft. At 6, at 47, because just think about all the mock drafts that you've seen. All the mock drafts that you've seen. A lot of those offensive linemen, the good ones, the guys that are ranked high, are going in the teens, 20s, in the 30s. Where are the New York Giants picking? We're picking at 6 and we're picking at 47. I do not see the New York Giants taking an offensive lineman, especially with the wide receivers, the cornerbacks, the quarterback. Is way too much value in other spots for us to be focusing on the offensive line this early in the draft, especially in the first round. So in this mock draft, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about the O-line in every round and see what your opinion is as we're going through these rounds to see if you would take an offensive lineman instead of some of the other people that are available at the time. So without further ado, this is Mock Draft 4.0, the What About the O-Line draft. Let's go. So now as you can see, we're back on the PFF this time. I did PFN in Mock Draft 3.0. Again, I like PFF better, but we were talking about trade scenarios, so that's why I went with PFN, because they make it a lot easier. In this case, again, it's going to be a 7-round draft, New York Giants. And like I said, the focus is going to be on the O-line. Let's see if you guys can be honest and let me know in the comments down below if you would take the offensive lineman off of some of the other talent that's available. So let's get right into this. All right, so I do want to get this trade going first with so we can get 166 and bang. Okay, so here we go. Now the New York Giants are at pick 6, and let's see who went out. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, all off the board. What that does, that tells me that Rome Odunze is here. Rome Odunze is here, and you see Brock Bowers. Now you got Joe Alt. You got Joe Alt here. You got Rome Odunze. And I just told you what the Giants did with the offensive line. They added Jermaine Illuminor. They added John Runyon. You know what I mean? They added some offensive line help. Is Joe Alt, who is a left tackle. Are you moving Joe Alt to right tackle? Or are you taking Rome Odunze, a threat? Let's see who else is there. Because we always talk about the quarterback here too. But this is just Troy Fontenot. You know, you got Nate Wiggins, cornerback. Like, are you really picking one of these offensive tackles over Rome Odunze? Are you doing that? I don't think you are. So in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and draft Rome Odunze. Let's get to pick 47. Now, we can debate about the quarterback. That can be another video. That can be another mock draft. I already did 2 mock drafts. Actually, in all 3 of my mock drafts, I ended up with a quarterback at some place and some time. So now we're at pick 47. Let's see who the offensive lineman. But what about the O-line? We got Zach Frazier here. Bo Nix is available. We got the cornerback Max Sanders still. Slot cornerback Chris Braswell, a nice edge rusher. Braden Fisk, we already know what it is. Roman Wilson, Javon Bullitt. Let's just see who the O-line is. Let's see who the O-line is. And just for, you can see that on this side, Michael Penix went to the Saints at 45. So we already lost out on Michael Penix. So we got Rome Odunze, and everybody's talking about you can wait to the second round to get a quarterback, and look what happened. Michael Penix is gone. Bo Nix, I'm not doing that Bo Nix train. I'm not hopping on that Bo Nix train. I'd rather have Spencer Rattler possibly in the third round. So here we go. Roman Wilson. I just picked up Rome Odunze. Where's the value at? Definitely not in Zach Frazier. Now let's go to the offensive line. I want to add another. So we're doing interior and offensive tackle. Zach Frazier. We got the kid from Yale. I don't want to butcher his name. Christian Haynes. Look what the ranks are. 57, 31. We don't need a center, right? Christian Haynes, guard. Blake Fisher, ranked 78. It's too early for one of these guys. It's too early. The value is not there for the O-line. So let's get back out of that. Let's look at best player available here. Bo Nix again. I have an agenda against Bo Nix. I don't believe that Bo Nix is real. In this situation, could the New York Giants take Bo Nix? I don't want Bo Nix. Now, Dable and Shane might be looking at the situation like we got to get somebody and take Bo Nix, but I'm not doing Bo Nix. Chris Braswell, Braden Fisk, I like those names. Roman Wilson, but we just got Rome Odunze. Where else do we need help? Safety. I like Javon Bullitt. That's a good pick right there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and go with the safety, Javon Bullitt. And now we're going to go into pick 70. Now here we're at pick 70. We missed out on a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. But what about the O-line, right? That's what everybody's saying. What about the O-line? Not everybody, but a lot of people. So look, Spencer Rattler is ranked 70. We're picking at 70. We need a quarterback. This is good value for Spencer Rattler. But let's see what the O-line guys are here. So I got a chance to get Spencer Rattler. Let's go back to the O-line. Again, which I think we addressed the O-line pretty well. BPA for the O-line is Blake Fisher. That's a right tackle. He is a right tackle. But again, we have Jermaine Illuminor. Can Blake Fisher beat out Jermaine Illuminor? Can Evan Neal even beat out Jermaine Illuminor? I don't believe so. Patrick Paul is ranked 90. So the closest we have, we're picking at 70. The best ranked offensive lineman is Blake Fisher. Are you telling me you're going to, since we already missed out on the quarterback, we got Rome Odunze, and you know what? We got the safety out of Georgia, but what are we doing here? I'm not going here. So let's go to BPA. Again, we have Jalen Polk is there, but we already got Rome Odunze. I like Kyrie Jackson, the cornerback out of Oregon, but the value right here, in my opinion, is Spencer Rattler. What are you trying to do? You're trying to build something here. You know what I mean? We don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be healthy. We already kind of know what Drew Lock is. Tommy DeVito is Tommy DeVito. I need somebody that my coaching staff can mold. And look, Spencer Rattler's right there. I'm going to go ahead and take Spencer Rattler. And again, what about the O-line, right? What about the O-line? So now we're at pick 107. We're at pick 107. Again, now we finally got a quarterback. Now we're looking for what? We still needed another cornerback. You know, we need some D-line help. I think all those are more important than offensive line right now, how the roster is currently constructed. And also halfback, but I told you guys before, and we are in pick 4. I'm not picking a running back until day 3, round 4. So here we go with this now. Let's look at the O-line. Let's look at what we have in the O-line. Bo Lemma, do we need a center? No. We're picking at 107. Matt Goncalves or whatever, Goncalves. I don't know how to say that man's name, but are we picking that guy at 107? Cooper Beebe. I like Cooper Beebe. Play tackle is projected as a guard. I like Cooper Beebe, but right now, you know what? The only guy I would take the hit for is Christian Jones. Christian Jones has a soccer background, big right tackle, but again, at this point in time, there's so much other value on the board. So when I clear it out, again, we still need a cornerback. We still, we got the safety. We still need D-line help. Running back is also an option at this point. So DJ James is there. Linebacker really don't need. Chris Abrams-Draine is right here. So you're telling me you picking, Matt Goncalves, whatever his name is, over Chris Abrams-Draine? Are you doing that? Audric Estime is available right here. Are you doing that? You're not doing that. And guess what? They did not take the trade. So let me go ahead and force this trade again. So for me, I'm looking at the cornerback spot here. DJ James is ranked 108. I don't have him that high for me. I like Chris Abrams-Draine more than that. But also, where'd he go? Jarvis Brownlee. I'm a big fan of Jarvis Brownlee, Louisville. I picked him in another mock draft before, so we're picking at 107. He's available at 116. Another physical type corner that's good in his own. You put him on the opposite side of Deonte Banks. Yes, he has a little more, I guess, fine-tuning to do, but that's why you have Jerome Henderson. But I like the upside of Jarvis Brownlee more than Abrams-Draine or DJ James. I like Brownlee more. So, and he got that toughness about him that we need in the NFC East. So I'm going to go ahead and draft Brownlee here because, again, what about the O-line, right? But what about the O-line? So now we're at pick 166. 2 picks left in the draft. We got 2 picks left. But what about the O-line? We still need a running back. Let's see who's available now. So look, your top guys is a linebacker. You got Joe Milton finally, Drake Nugent, James Williams. Dylan Johnson is right here. I like Dylan Johnson, and if he's here and in round 5, I think he gives you that extra oomph because he has a little change of pace to him. Can run and catch. The only issue we're having with him is he can't stay healthy. So let's see who's available if we break down these running backs. All right, with the running backs, Dylan Johnson again. Tyrone Tracy, I'll be lying if I told you I knew or watched the Purdue game this year. Cody Schrader, I do like, but we already have Singleton. He's one of those smaller backs. I don't think we need another smaller back. I think we need somebody with some size or at least runs with some toughness. Jason McClellan. Oh, look, we're actually too high. The value's not there. So you can't even go running back here unless you're going with Dylan Johnson. Let's go back to BPA and see what we have going on here. And again, this is real time. Not quite how I would have played it out myself. I would have took a quarterback in the first, but the theme of the video was what about the O-line? All right, I'm going to go ahead and take Dylan Johnson here. So I'm taking Dylan Johnson here. And what I want to do, and like I've been doing in a lot of mocks, is either taking another cornerback late or looking at another edge that's developmental that you can put in the room with Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari, and can do some work. So I'm looking for a particular person, right? And if I don't find that person, I might be looking at Jaheim Bell because he's a receiving type tight end. And we do need that, on the team. So if I can't, let's see. Jordan Jefferson is also available too, and we do need some D-line help because we didn't go there. I'm trying to see if Kamara is available, and that's the edge out of Colorado State, but I'm not seeing him. I don't see him here. So in this case, I'm going to round it off, keep it real simple, right? I like Jaheim Bell because we do need that type of tight end. But again, I'm looking at the tight ends that we have right now. Tyree Jackson is still on the squad. Still trying to figure out what's going on with Darren Waller. And if Darren Waller actually plays, then, drafting the tight end is pretty much useless right now. So with that being said, I'm going for the defensive tackle here. I'm going for Jordan Jefferson out of LSU. And that's going to round off this draft. Let's see how we did. And again, what about the O-line? Not one offensive lineman was picked. And you can tell me if you want to argue in the comments down below where you would have picked that offensive lineman over, some of the talent that we got. So let's see how this thing played out. Okay, so round one, Rome Odunze. This is the recap. We got an A for that. Not surprised. Javon Bullard got you a B plus. Again, you needed that type of safety, athletic, and do all those things. Spencer Rattler gave us an A. And again, a guy like Spencer Rattler, for the people that are still cheering for Daniel Jones, if you get a guy like Spencer Rattler, you're probably not worrying about him jumping on the field in September. You know, he could possibly beat out Drew Lock. Definitely can beat out a Tommy DeVito, but Spencer Rattler is one of those developmental guys, can probably surprise you more than people think he would. Jarvis Brownlee got us a B minus. Dylan Johnson got us a C plus, so that's a little bit low, even though he was ranked 167 and we picked him at 166. I guess the value wasn't there. And then Jordan Jefferson got us a B plus. Overall draft grade, A minus. I can take it, but again, let me know in the comments down below, what about the O-line, right? What about the O-line? Listen, we might not draft an offensive lineman, you know, in this draft at all. That doesn't mean we won't pick up one in the UDFA, because we already won't be picking one early anyway. At least in my opinion, won't be picking up an offensive lineman early with all of the work they put in the free agency to address the offensive line. I think they were looking at veterans with experience. You know, they're moving away from the youth a little bit. If these guys can pick up like Neal, Zudu, or McKeithen, if they can still hang on, well, more of Zudu and McKeithen, if they can still hang on, but they brought in a lot of offensive line depth for these guys to battle with in training camp and in preseason. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's going to be the draft, the mock draft 4.0, Rome Odunze, Bullard, Rattler, Brownlee, Dylan Johnson, Jordan Jefferson. And another thing, again, for the people that say we can get a quarterback in the second round, do you really want to take that chance? You guys complain about Michael Penix sometimes. Do you really want to take that chance? J.J. McCarthy gone. Do you really want to take that chance on missing out on that quarterback that could possibly be the one? Possibly be the one. Nothing's a guarantee, but they can possibly be the one. Do you really want to do that? I don't think you do. So, again, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.